Hey, you know what today is. Sisterhood Check-In coming right up at 10 p.m. Make sure you set your clocks, get your popcorn, get your pen and paper, call up your girlfriends, and tell them Sisterhood Check-In is about to start. See you in a few minutes. Sisterhood Check-In. I am your author and coach, Nadira Lewis, and it is Friday. Woo! Thank you guys for spending another Friday with me here at Sisterhood Check-In. We have an amazing show lined up for you. Hold on, I think I'm fixing my mic. I think my mic then came off a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to fix it. There we go. We are back, and let me tell you, we have a really great show lined up today. I have my sister here with me, Lynn Edwards, and I'm telling you, she is the queen of cricket and sublimation when it comes to creating all things sweet angel creation. So make sure you call your girlfriends up. Let them know it is Friday. Sisterhood Check-In is on the air. Make sure you get your popcorn, your tea, or whatever it is that you need to get. And make sure you sit down and get rid of all the distractions and let them know I need this hour for me to learn something that I need for just me. I'm telling you, we need to take some time and make sure that we carve out some time just for us. And Sisterhood Check-In is the show to help you do that. And if you are watching us through YouTube, make sure you click like and share. If you make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the notification button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. If you are watching us via Facebook, make sure you click and like and share if you've been blessed by the content that you have been receiving this far. So we're going to play this quick video, and the next voice and the person that you'll see right alongside of me will be that of Lynn Edwards. See you soon.
The quiet silence of a heart that believes itself defeated by loss, by pain, by fear. Our hope nailed to a cross, our own faith depleted, at the sight of no movement, a body inert. But it is not the end. At the sound of the gravestone rolling, a new story has unfolded. Death has been defeated. Our hope is alive. Jesus is alive. We raise our hands in victory. By His resurrection, we are set free. He blows a wind of life and brings us back to the light. He is risen. Our Messiah is alive. He breathes and the darkness trembles. He speaks and our future shines. By His sacrifice we are now saved. By His grace we can all rise. Here rejoicing in the sky, the grave could not hold Him. The veil has been torn. Our Christ has won over death, over sin, over ache. By His power all chains break. He is victorious. He is the way. He is the resurrection and the life. And by His wounds, we're made alive.
And we are back here with Sisterhood Check-In. Wasn't that video awesome?
I was over here about to catch some spirits. I was thinking like I was at the puppies. I loved it. It was awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. Glad you like it. And I hope you in the audience got a chance to watch it and like it also. All of you that are watching via my Facebook page, the Becoming a Woman of Proverb page, and if you're watching us on Twitter or Instagram, please give a warm welcome to my special guest, Lynn Edwards. Woo! Welcome to SIsterhood Checkin.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you, sis.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad to have you here. This is our chance to get to dialogue and talk about all the wonderful things that you are doing. So Rhonda or Lynn.
Yes,
right?
let's set the record straight. Me and Nadira go back decades, right? And my birth name is Rhonda Lynn. At a point in time in my life, I decided to use my middle name, which was Lynn. But well, you can tell where people know me from in my life because they'll say Rhonda, and I'm looking like, and then they'll say Lynn. So my name actually is Rhonda.
Oh
Lynn.
my God, that look that you just did. If you don't look like mommy, I don't know
who
you look like just now. Oh my God, I was like, I just thought mommy just come out of you. You just with that hand on the hip. I'm like, yep.
Well, you know what? You know what? She be in all of us. You look at Shalinda, me,
yes.
Nettie, and you get a little bit of Ovette in everybody.
Oh God.
Yes. Even the grandkids. You see it in all of them. Yes.
Oh my gosh. They are just like walking little Gregs. Like literally, like, oh my gosh. You can tell the Bryants when you see them on the street. You'd be like, yep.
It's the look.
Yep.
It's called DNA. You cannot deny. Like I'm telling you, when you see Riley, so my family out there. Riley is my daughter, and I have a son named EJ. When you see Riley, like to me, I think it's undeniable. Like even when she tried to go against it, that DNA get her, and she be looking and talking and sounding and acting like me, and I'd be like, Lord have mercy. I don't know how I have friends. That child is a hot mess.
She actually reminds me of you. Like every time I look at her, I'm like, she has Lynn. She has Lynn's. It's so funny because you and Shalinda are Lynn. So it's like I have to. I'm like both of them are Lynn.
Well,
Mommy must really like it, Lynn.
She's Lynn with two ends. I mean, one end. I'm Lynn with two ends.
With two ends. Yes. When I look at Rye, I'll be like, oh my gosh. I'm like, she reminds me so much of Lynn when we were younger, like her personality, everything. I'm like, yeah, that's her all day long.
She can't even all day long. She can't help it. She can't help it. Even if she tried to, she can't help it.
Of course. So, Lynn, tell everybody that is watching, the listening audience, in my audience and in your audience, tell us how you became the woman that you are today.
So how long is this show? We got how long? But you know what? I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna give it to you in a nice bow because there's a lot that goes into who I am like right now, right? Because if I think about how I am, and it's funny we brought up Riley, right? Because Riley is who in my mind, how I was as a child, but I just didn't know how to do that. So when I'll just take it back. I don't know how far you want to go back, but I've always been a native of New Jersey. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, and I was a pretty shy little girl. Believe it or not, I was a very shy little girl because in my mind, I was having all these conversations in my head, but I just didn't know how to express them. So that it didn't feel like weird. When you're young, you go through those levels of insecurity.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, my insecurities were all up in my head.
Oh, as most of us. Yeah.
And what happens is when you have those insecurities going on in your head and you do not know how to communicate them, oh my goodness, you become your best friend because you can only feel most comfortable talking to you.
Yep.
But what happened was I knew I didn't want to do that. So I decided when I got a little older that I was like, I'm going to be who I want to be. I'm going to be really comfortable. I made a conscious decision to make the attempt to be comfortable with my authentic self. Like that was a journey because I was not comfortable. I was always worried about the perception. And then at a point in time, I was like, you know what, this is going to be me. You know what, I am all things amazing. I'm a very dynamic person. And I was going to put that person forward. And that's when I decided to start going with my middle name, believe it or not, Lynn, because there's certain things that are Rhonda dead serious. Rhonda's still a work in progress. But I made a conscious decision to start using my middle name, to be very comfortable with my authentic self and not worry about what the world is thinking, because you know what? I am purposefully made exactly how I am, right? So I did that. Then I ended up with this amazing husband who knows Lynn, how she is. With him, I think because I had like such an amazing relationship with him, we started out as friends. We were friends for the friends as long as time. And when we decided to be a couple, he just basically helped me feel as though there were no mistakes in what I do.
Oh,
Right?
that's so
And you
sweet.
have like that
I
foundation
felt
in
a tear
me.
come out the side of my
You feel
eye.
like you need some tissue? I wish I
I
could give
felt
you
a
some virtual tissue. I wish I could give you some virtual tissue. But to me, having that, like they say, a foundation makes a difference.
Yes.
That right there is how I am me. Like when it comes to me as my own individual person,
Yeah.
I am so comfortable in my space. I wish that I had that comfort when I was younger. That comfort, you know, where you see that comfort younger when you look at Riley. Like if I was that young with this, I would be good. And then what happened was, you know, we decided to start a family.
Yeah.
And we started a family, and, you know, fast forward, we got, you know, EJ and Riley, who are literally like our pride and joys. But when we became parents, I, I was, I was so intentional about making sure that my children knew how amazing they were from the
Oh, yeah.
beginning. Like nothing about them. You don't need to emulate someone else. God did this for you and for you only. He will never do it again. It is only between you and God. And believe it or not, we started putting that message in EJ and Riley from the beginning.
That's good.
So but you know, you have the world, because I knew growing up, you know, some of the things that went on in my head that led to a lot of insecurities. I wish that there was someone that I had as
Yeah.
a mentor when I was that young to give me that conversation. So
Yeah.
we've always been very intentional about making sure that EJ and Riley know that you are the bomb.
Wow.
You are perfect the way you are. Like nothing about you is a mistake. Even the things that you don't see perfect, you are so imperfectly perfect that that's why you are who you are. So like it's a
Yeah.
growing process. I love my kids, because if you look at my social media page, you see
Yeah,
my
there's not one picture with you, but I found like I went through your social media and I was trying to find a picture because I was like, okay, she's probably I've asked her to send me a picture. She's probably between like three different things and probably forgot. So I'm looking through your social media and I'm like, okay, that's what Riley, that's what EJ, Riley. And I was like, okay, I had to go all the way down and dig like in yesteryear to find a picture of you by yourself. And I
Yeah.
said, this girl loves her. This is a woman that has demonstrated that I'm a little bit like, I'll show my boobies, but I'm like a little bit more like, I have all their pictures like in my thing. I'm like, because social media is so crazy nowadays. I'm like nervous like to put them up all the time. And
Yeah.
maybe because I use them for my business. I use it as a business page. So I might shoot a picture or two or three up there. But because I mainly use it for business, I don't really put a whole lot of them up. Now in my phone, I have 10,000 photos
Girl.
of them doing. It's funny because it's like Adam mess with me because it's like a cartoon. Like I catch him in every shot. He was like, all of these pictures are like the same. It's just
Exactly.
like
And then you have you can make a reel out of it if you just like let
for
them go.
real.
Listen, I'm with
20,000
you.
pictures. Like that's
I'm with
ridiculous.
you 100%. But here's the funny thing. Remember I said I made that conscious decision to go from Rhonda to Lynn. So if you go into my social media page a little bit, you could tell when it was all about me, because let me just say, I love my reflection. I love me. I got a ton of pictures of me. However, when you make that transition, you become a mom and
Yep.
you become the person that somebody is actually, you got to teach somebody. You
Yeah.
become a little less selfish and become
Yep.
selfless.
Yep.
So don't get me wrong. If you pick up my phone, it's a ton of pictures of me. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But my page reflects what I'm doing. Like, it's all about me and my family. It's not just about me. It's
Yeah.
about me, my family. You know, you could tell what we are. We got to go to church. We got to go to school. Everything about it is authentic to me. I did not want to, I'm so intentional about it. I
Yeah.
do not want you to mistake me, what I like, what I need
That's
for
good.
anything. Yeah. It's all about the positive energy for me too. If
That's
your
good.
energy ain't right, I'm gonna need you to move over
That's
left.
facts. That's facts. That's fact. And because I have, like with me, because I have, like I said, I use mine for business. So most of my content is geared around my coaching. So
Yeah.
most of the so when I do post, I try to post very few, because nowadays people are just so crazy wicked. They just be snatching your photos
Girl,
and doing all kind of
give you
crazy
another
stuff.
name
It's
and everything
like,
else.
oh my God. Especially if they be like stealing accounts, recreating accounts with you, and you be like, how in the world you get? And then they be like asking for money on your behalf, and you be like, I never, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's just like crazy. So, but yeah, I definitely, when I was going through your page, I was like, okay, okay, well, maybe I could crop. Well, let me go a little further. And I was going down, I was like, Rhonda really Lynn really loves her kids. Like, I was like, every picture, and I'm gonna show it as we begin to talk. Every picture I was going down, I was like, this is hubby. But that's amazing, and it's a blessing, because when you can get to a point where you actually are happy, and it shows in your lifestyle, it shows in your family, it's ultimately going to show in your kids' life. And
Yes.
you want, and I was the same way, and I'm still that way. I'm very intentional with making my kids feel like they are everything, and
That's
that
right.
it doesn't matter what anybody, because it's not what people say to you externally that really matters. It's what you say to yourself. And so when
Absolutely.
you teach them to say things like, you are beautiful, and I even tell the boys, I said, tell your sisters they're beautiful. Tell them they're awesome,
Absolutely.
because they shouldn't hear
Absolutely.
it from outside first. They need to hear it from you first. So that way, when they get out there, they're not all loopy looped over somebody that says, oh, you're beautiful. And next thing you know, they thought, well, I know that's not gonna happen with Bella, because Bella's kind of hardcore.
But
She's
here,
just kind of like, she just straight, McKinley might be like, Bella's gonna be more like, get out of here. Like,
exactly.
she's a little bit more rough around the edges. But McKinley, she's like, so it's like really good. I be telling them, just make sure you tell them this. That's why I
That's
meant
right.
so much when Christian and Jeremiah took Bella to the father-daughter dance. That
Yeah.
I can't tell you, when that picture come up in
Who's crying?
story, I cry every time I see it.
That's like you
I'm
crying.
like a crybaby. Like, I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so. And she has a little picture with like this, and I'm
Oh,
like, Christian actually was that picture was actually in his apartment complex. They were so amazed by the fact that Christian and Jeremiah took Bella to
yeah.
her first father-daughter dance. They put it in their community paper.
Oh, that is. Oh, I love it. I
And they
love it.
highlighted Christian. They highlighted him as the resident that cares.
Oh, come
And I
on,
was
nephew.
just
Come
like,
through and do things. Come on, nephew. Come through. I love it.
that made me cry.
But let me say this to that point is, if you think about it, girls, right? The first relationship they have with a male figure
Mm-hmm.
is either their brothers or
Mm-hmm.
the father.
Or the father. Yep.
So if you're not getting that current encouragement in your house, what's gonna happen is she's
Yep.
gonna go outside, and because you're not saying it in the house, she's gonna go
Mhm,
outside like, well, iffy, and she's gonna be looking for that acceptance,
mhm,
that
mhm.
voice. So no, when Riley began her little hair done, her little clothes, I taught her this earlier. She don't even know. I taught her, but it made me kind of. She literally walked in the room and she be just standing there waiting for EJ to tell her to say so. That's exactly how you do it. But here's the
That
thing,
is so cute.
EJ ain't perfect, because EJ would be like this and look away. So we had, Edward had to teach him, tell your sister she looks nice. Tell her hair looks nice, because she's looking for you. Like, so you have to make sure
Affirmations,
that in
yeah.
this house that you get everything you need in this house. So when you go
Yes,
outside, you take that confidence you got in this house with you
yes,
outside, and it don't matter what they say about you outside. You know what? I'm walking outside with this coat on that my brother, my father, and my mother
yes.
given to me as a coat of strength. And you walk out the door with that, You be good. You
Yeah,
be good.
yeah, and it'll carry you a long way. It'll carry you a
Yeah,
long way, and it is true. Everything starts at home because whatever they learn at
absolutely.
home, it's their foundation. It's their first, the law of their first truth. So no
Absolutely.
matter what you go, Mama said the sky was yellow. I don't care what nobody say.
It's gonna be yellow
It's
no
gonna
matter
be
what happens.
yellow. I don't
Exactly.
care how much proof you show me. If Mama said it's yellow, it's
Like,
yellow.
that's not yellow. That's not blue. That color is is and it's the truth. Because but that goes to show that you have to be really responsible with the information you pour into your kids, because
Absolutely,
if you pour
absolutely.
some negativity into them and make them think that sky is red, they are
Mhm.
truly going outside thinking that sky is red, and
Yep.
they're gonna argue somebody down about that too.
What? And you
So
better not say my mama is a liar. You
what?
better
Those are fighting words. Now, those are listen. If you don't fight somebody for calling your mother a liar, I'm gonna fight you.
you be
We
like,
don't have to worry about that.
that
No.
is so true. It's like, and I look at Adam sometimes. I be looking at Adam. I be like, do you miss being like the baby? He's like, yeah, a little bit. But he like, it's funny because when they gone, I'm like, darn, this is what it'd be like if they wasn't here. I'm like, I guess God knew I needed to have that company
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
are so full of life and they just like, I love the security that they have
Yeah.
to be
Right.
themselves. And that's what you as parent, you and Edwin seem to have done, is create an environment of security so so they can be who they are. Not a lot of kids have that opportunity to do that. They're home and the mother's always gone, or the father's always gone, or the mother's there but not there. The father's there but not there. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to create an environment where your kids can blossom, and it's just a wonderful thing. I love it. I love it.
But here's the thing that bothers me about that statement, what you said, right? Like, why is that? That should just how it should just be like that.
It should.
All kids should be in a situation where it's healthy. We're not doing anything that we do every. God, listen. When we had kids, we said, God, you bless us, and then we'll pour that blessing into our children. But
Mhm.
that should be the standard. That should be
It
how it
should.
is. Children shouldn't be, in the house by themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, uncomfortable in your house. If
Yeah.
you are uncomfortable and insecure in your house, do you know how you walk into the world? Oh my God, you're like a victim to the world. Even
Yeah.
like, with confidence. You got to walk out into this. We live in a crazy world. You got to
Mhm.
walk out into this world. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to take
Mhm.
up daggers. And
Yeah.
then sometimes that could, like, wither you a little bit, even the strongest of us. But imagine a
Yeah.
kid who, and not even just a kid, because those kids grow into like
Mhm.
adults and people. Just
Mhm.
imagine a
Mhm.
person going in and they don't have
Mhm.
a secure foundation. That
Yep.
is that's just not how it should be.
And the children are only as secure as their parents are. So if the
Absolutely.
parents are secure in who they are and secure and they create a secure environment, a
Absolutely.
loving environment, then kids will blossom and you will see your kids. You ever look at your kids and you see them like they start to display this confidence and you look at them and you be like, yeah, I had
It's
something just
good.
like
But those are those moments
yeah,
that you see
yes.
that smirk you just had. You be sitting there like, you gotta smile to it, right? Because at the same time, like, it's a repetitive thing. You don't get the reward for it every day.
Yes.
You'll get a peek
Yes.
of it. You'll be like, oh, okay, now I see why I'm doing it. But let me just say this. I say all of this to say, like, none of the glory goes to me, you, any
Yeah.
parents out there, Edward, none of us. We Who gets the glory is God. Because I'm going to tell
Right.
you,
That's right.
every day of our parenting life, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
we let EJ Riley, I tell you and anybody who got ears,
Yeah.
if God did not bless me, trust me, there would be, it would be right up in here. So, like,
Yeah.
we do our best, and we have a saying in our house. We always say, because we are not perfect at all, because we be up
Mhm.
here hot messing it, but we do our best, and then we pray for God to do the rest. That's our
That's
saying.
all.
We tell them that when you go take a test, you study. You do your best, and then you ask God to do the rest. And
Yeah.
as long as you do, you be good. You be covered.
And it really is that simple. It really is that simple. And I think the more you become aware of that reality,
Yeah.
then it becomes like second nature.
Absolutely.
them. And because if they don't understand that understanding who they are because of who created them, it doesn't matter how many times a person tell them how wonderful and awesome they are. All it takes is that one person to bring them, make them
Absolutely.
feel, get in a wrong relationship, and they feel like they lost.
Girl, it just takes for the devil to get up in their head. That's that wrong person is called the devil. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It takes for, and let me tell you, if you let the devil get up in your head, and I'm gonna tell you this, if you don't have the right relationship with God to know God's voice when He talking to you, because His voice sounds different for you and me and everybody else, you gotta have that foundation and that relationship with God. Because when both EJ and Riley decided to, go to church and like get baptized and stuff, it was not our pastor, shout out Reverend Garrett, we were not able to tell them you could get baptized. It had to be their own relationship. So the beauty of it is their relationship with God blossomed because of the relationship me and Edward had. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I think when you do that, it's just a beautiful thing to sit back and watch like these kids like grow, and they ain't perfect, but they do good things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that confidence, it is all about the confidence for me, because is what I did not have growing up.
I definitely understand. That's so true. But we're going to talk more with our special guest, Lynn Edwards. We're going to take a quick commercial break, get you something to drink, get you some coffee, some tea, and we'll be right back after this. IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives needed to service their customers from home. If you're interested, please apply at www.ibgcareers.com.
Let's work. I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I. Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go.
IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives to service their clients from home. If interested, please apply at www.ibgcareers.com.
Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Yeah.
Stop. I want it. I got it. 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 I want it. I got it.
are back here with Sisterhood Check-In with my special guest, my sis, Lynn Edwards. Think about those commercials, girl.
Listen, I don't know if you can see me doing the commercials, but I'm over here like this, like you. I like the commercials. They got me jamming, feeling like I'm in a club.
I try to make it eye-catching and attention-grabbing.
The music is what's got me bumping. I'm listening to the music.
Awesome. So for all of you that are just watching, if you missed the first half, you got to go back and watch the beginning and put hashtag replay. Put in the comments and let us know where you are watching from and how Lynn Edwards have been blessing you with her awesome testimonial so far, where she was talking about being a mom and a wife and building a stable environment of confidence in her children from day one, which I think is amazing. Now, you also have a business. For those of you that are watching, Lynn has a business and it's called Sweet Angel Creations. Talk to us about how you started that.
Okay, so let's talk about, now we done talked about my kids and my husband. Let's talk about me. So let's talk about how Sweet Angel Creations was birthed. So I have always been a person who likes personalized things. When I grew up, if I could have an R on something back then when I was Rhonda, if I could have an R on something or my name was something, you couldn't tell me I wasn't the bomb. It could have been an ugly outfit, but the fact that it had an R on my name is what made it perfect for me. So I decided to, when I had children, I wanted, if you look at my pictures, every one of my kids' birthday, it had 1, 2, 3. It had to have their age on it, and it had to have their name on it. And I know we are familiar with Etsy. I would always have to make a plan to put an order in early enough just to get it. And what ended up happening was 1 year, because even those who think we are all organized, we're not. 1 year, I forgot, and it was for Riley's birthday. I didn't put my order in early enough. So to me, it was devastating. I'm like, oh my God, people not gonna know her age. Like, like you're not gonna see a cake or invitation. But for me, oh my God, her age is, she's not gonna have her shirt. And that was devastating to me. So what ended up happening was I was having a conversation with a girlfriend, and we just having a general conversation. I'm like, this is what happened. It was so awful. And she said the words that literally changed me. She said, I can make that for you. I said, what? Like the heavens had opened up. I was like, what? Like you joke, like what? You said you could help, like Etsy can, what? Show me. And we not only did we make a shirt for Riley, but she literally was like, I could do this for you. She went and did her stuff, which I know what her stuff is now. She went and did some things, and she started asking me questions like, do you want to do this? Do you? And I'm like, I got a choice here. Like, I was happy. And what happened was, to make a really long story short, she made these designs. She literally customized these designs. I was happy. She said, come see it. I went to her house to see it, and she was like, here, you want to do it? And I was like, I was like this. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna mess it up. I was like all over the place because I could not conceptualize what was happening. All I know is I was happy because my daughter was gonna have a shirt that had an age on it. But the fact that she was like, hey, I was like, oh my God, it was so foreign to me. Needless to say, I got the shirts. They were awesome. I left her house and I did research. I was watching videos. I was staying up late. It was exactly what I needed in my life. Exactly. I literally watched videos. I took tutorials. It was just crazy. I was literally addicted to it. And then I decided I'm going to go and get it. I had, like, on my phone, I'm a note taker. I have all these notes, and I decided I knew what materials I needed, and then I had the stuff. So if anybody out there who is in a creative space, you know that song by Erykah Badu where she said, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my beep. It is so true because I had everything that I needed to create something. It is sat there for weeks because I was so nervous to create something. I was like, I got this stuff, like, what do I do? I felt overwhelmed. And then, again, I have an awesome husband. He was like, just do it. And I was like, so I just did it. And I will never forget it. EJ had a game, and it's so funny because we still have it like today, and we be like, look how you started. EJ had a game, and we made a shirt. It was a basketball hoop. It was like this small on this huge shirt. It was this small, and it said, my favorite players on the court. You couldn't even see it. You had to like squint to see it. But like when I saw that on a shirt, and I knew it meant something to me. It wasn't something that would mean something to anyone else but me, because it was my child. It was how I felt when I saw that. That was the best creation there was. Absolutely. And the feeling that I got, I wanted to share it. So the first thing I did was I was like, Riley, do you want one? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, my first customer. So me and Riley, and then I said to Edward, you want one? He's like, he's doing the do thing. No, I'm good, right? So I made it, and me and Riley walked in, and I kid you not, it was literally like we had a spotlight on us because it meant so much to me. And what happened was I just started to create. I started to create, and I started to create. And people started to ask me, how are you doing that? Can you do that? And believe it or not, when I first started, I never charged anyone anything. And because it was more about, I get so caught up in it. Like, can you do that? Yeah, let's design it. We'd be halfway through the shirt. They have no idea what it costs. They're just happy. I'm happy. And it's just a great feeling. So what I found difficult was, how do you put a price on something you enjoy doing? It was very difficult to do that. And long story short, that's where my husband comes in. He's like, because you need to do this the right way. He's like, you're muted. I think you're muted, Nadira. He's like, it's not just a hobby. Like where you are now, it's not just a hobby. You need to expand it. And that's what we did. Again, I got he's like my biggest cheerleader. He, coached it in my ear. And I said, okay, well, let's go ahead and, do it, because I started to get people coming to me, asking me orders. And, you don't want to basically keep saying, text me, you know what I'm saying? Or you wanted to formalize it. And that's the conversation my husband said, if you wanted to make this your brand, you need to put it out there a certain way. So that's how we were born. It literally was because everything at this point is because of my kids. I couldn't get a shirt for them for my birthday. So I was like,
with Destiny came in and
oh
was
my
like,
goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's how it happens. Sometimes, with me, even when I got into coaching, I never said, I always knew I like to minister and talk to women and stuff, especially for what I went through. And one day Preach was like, Mom, I need you to take this thing. This thing is really awesome. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. Okay. I don't like answering all these questions, but I'll go ahead and do it. So I started doing it, and it was like, you are a coach. And I was like, I don't know about all that.
Right.
But then I started to cultivate, and I started to realize and sit back, and I started to see. And I was like, wait a minute, this is, I have something here. And so I started to invest in my knowledge, and started to, to get certified and go through different things. And I was like, you know what, I actually enjoy this. But I've been doing this for free all my life. I've been doing this, talking to people. Now I realize and understand through investing in myself how important it is to allow people to invest in their transformation. And you realize the people that are serious, that, you're not just giving out information to people, because sometimes you could give advice and it just falls straight to the ground. And that's like, for a person that's in that has intellectual properties, that's like a waste of time and money.
Right.
But when you enjoy it, you do it, you do it effortlessly. But it is a gift. And when it's a gift, you're giving people something in exchange, and you're giving them in exchange for what you need, for what they need. And then before you know it, that's how most businesses start out.
Yeah. Right.
That's how most businesses start out. I saw you. I was like, oh, okay, Rhonda got this. Then I'm like, she getting good at this. I'm looking, I'm like, okay, got a whole Facebook page. Like, okay.
But here's the thing: anything that you do, right, you should grow in it. So, you're coaching, and you started out coaching, with you came with what you knew. And as you started to get people you were coaching, you started to expand, you started to listen to things, you exposed yourself to more knowledge. And that allows you to, when you're coaching people, now I can help you this much more. So when it came to this, I started out, with a smaller audience, it was like specifically just providing specific products. And as I started to get requests, I started to do more research. So we started to branch out into what we could offer our customers, right? We could give you sublimation, we can give you, vinyl, which is people probably know it as cricket. And now what we're doing is we've actually started to offer another service, which is DTF, right? So it's either from DTF is basically it's direct to fill, what it's called, but it's just
Okay.
another process that allows for you to customize images and get it onto a shirt, get it onto a tumbler, get it onto whatever you want. Like what I say is, oh, you got my little babies. So wait, remember that shirt I was talking about for Riley's birthday?
Yes.
This shirt right here. This was Riley's birthday where
So
I did
cute.
not have it. And my girlfriend literally, so if you look at these shirts where I was blown away, every girl's shirt complexion is different. I was like, oh my God.
That's a great, that is really awesome.
It's like, this was my turning point. There's my Riley. This was the turning point, which literally said, like, I would create, like, I'll do your makeup and I'll do your hair, but this is what brought me joy. Like, I wanted to share that joy. And I'll be very honest with you, like when you like dealing with me is a good and a bad thing, right? Because I don't know a stranger at all. I get people literally, they go on my page and they'll be like, hey, and let me tell you, I be talking to these people like we know each other, and I'll be like, you sure? And because when you're dealing with Etsy and stuff, people are like, here's my order. I'm like, no, how about this color? What about this color? What if we did this? So I could be a little overwhelming, but in the end, I want you to feel excited about your end product like I do. So some people might be like, I don't feel like it. Just give me a daggone name. But I feel as though everything that you have, you should love it. You should just like stuff. Like you should full love it. Whatever you do, whatever you have, invest in the love of yourself. Like that's all. That's all.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to get back up because I want to show. I had rolled out the girls like bust in the room. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like shaking, like, you know, you got to be a mom. And
like mine is up there. Look, mine is up there. I'm like up downstairs. But here's the thing. Like for me, like I'm down. Like I have like my whole little office down here. I see. There's my little Riley, and there's EJ. Unfortunately, there we go.
That is so cute.
I loved it. It was literally from this. I left her party the next day. I was just on my phone watching videos like crazy.
Wow, this is so. I love having little girls. Like little girls, it's like doll babies. Like you get to just do everything, like creating everything that you did with your play doll babies, but doing it with the real one is
well.
Like,
here's the thing: little girls are all things ooey and gooey, right?
Ooey and gooey,
yeah. Hug them, kiss them, but remember that hugging and kissing is gonna talk back to you.
Oh yeah, don't I know?
And you
don't I know? You go from hugging the kitchen to about to knock them out. Like
what? You don't know what's gonna come out their mouth. Yeah. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, it gives you a laugh. But then other times you're like, oh my God, like what is she about to say? But you know what? I let my kids say whatever they gotta say. And everything, you know, even I'll let them know, like, whatever you say is not wrong. Sometimes as they say things it's not right, we take everything as like a teachable moment. Like seriously. If you know what I'm saying, like it's times we can hear like EJ and Riley, because you know nothing in my house is private. We hear them like talking to their friends, and as they're talking, like I'll be like, EJ, you know what, this is what you may want to do when you're talking, because they're still learning. And it's not that they are probably not being bad or rude or disrespectful. Kids just don't know certain things, and you have to teach them. Everything is a teachable moment.
Everything is a teachable moment, even if I have to whoop that behind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's but when we get to the I'm gonna jack you up, because I done told you about it. That's why. So when we get to the jack you up phase, it's because I done told you and you not listening. That's totally different.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, because you've been taught.
Yes. Okay. Let me tell you. I come from the generation where we tear that butt up and ask questions later. But that's then, right. But when you do get in our generation, especially because we grew up in a generation like that, we tend to have a little more sympathy, especially for McKinley and Bella. I'm a lot more sympathetic with them. at their age and I was with the older kids. Other kids, I was jumping on tables, knocking them out, like on, especially Jeremiah. He was like 6 feet. He's like 6 feet tall. So I jump on a table and look, but when they're little, now it's like, I heard Jeremiah say to Adam one day, he said, well, you got it made. Mommy softened up with you because mommy used to punch us in the chest. Mommy used to do this. We got in trouble for everything. Y'all, Adam, you could just say whatever you want, and mommy just be like, okay.
Girl, listen. Let me
I
put
was
it to
like,
you
because I'm
like this.
tired.
Let me put it to you like this. My mother literally looks at my kids and she be like, we grew up in a house like Ovetta jacked us up, like period.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like there was no we knew how to act, when to act, and why to act, right?
For real.
But the way that these kids are now, I tell EJ Riley all of the time, you would not survive if Mima, they call it Mima, if Mima was your mother. And they be like, why? I be like, you would not survive a day in a house. You come back a different kid if you had to grow up the way that I grew up. Totally different.
That's what my girlfriend always say. She always be cracking me up laughing because she be like, she tell her daughter, if you grew up in the house with my mama, Lord, you'd be dead by now.
You better tell
be dead.
her.
My mother was good with getting them bats and stuff like that. My mother was throwing stuff at you. She would like literally you be ducking and dodging, like you ain't get a chance to back talk because your lip was on the ground before you even got the words out.
We didn't even get jacked up for back talking. We just got jacked up for everything. Now back talking
that too. Yes.
No, I'm just talking about stuff that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't get a good grade. I'm getting jacked up. Okay. Like it's just different. And I'll be like sitting there telling EJ Riley, because they'll ask me something, and I'll be like, go ask me, Mom. Because I want them to experience. Yeah. I'm responsible. Hold up now. Because Mima's different now. Mima's not the same one that raised us. My mother used to jack us up. Now, EJ Riley, no, the older you get, the more tolerant and patient you are. And because you're tired, to your point.
Yep.
Tired, but it's just a difference. It's just different.
Yeah, I love this shirt right here. I'm no cactus expert, but I know a prick when I see it. Girl, where do you get these ideas from? That is just so funny. And I like this yellow too. I like yellow.
Yeah. Now this one I actually wouldn't create. I did it because I saw somebody who had it, but I wanted it to be a little bit different. So yeah. And again, anytime like I make something, I can make you, I'll always start off by asking you, do you have something that you want to see? Because sometimes people come with their own ideas and they're like, I just want you to execute what I have going on. But if you let me do what I'm going to do, and even when you come to me with something that's already there, I try and put a little something different in here. So if you're walking down the street and you walk up to somebody with the same shirt, you'd be like, well, mine is a little different. I want you to feel like this was specifically made for you.
Nice.
And if you let me create it, that creative process takes a little longer. But it's a lot. I make sure that me and my friends, because that's what I call them. I don't have customers. We got friends. We are going to go through this, and this is going to be customized between you and me. And you're just going to end up with a really nice end product.
And that's important. Customer service is so vital. When the end result is always to see them happy, you always, not only will you have a happy client, but they're going to refer you to somebody else and say, hey, you want to work with Lynn because Sweet Angel Creations, man, they are amazing. They're very, they're creative, they're patient, and they offer a lot of different varieties of different things. It's like Publix when it comes to grocery shopping and Chick-fil-A. Going the extra mile for your client makes them go the extra mile for your business.
Let me tell you something. I will pay. I am so funny. I'm funky. I will pay extra for good customer service. I hate a bad customer experience.
Me too.
Like I'm the one that be like this, manager, please. Like for me, when you have a business or just when you engage with people, like period, I do not appreciate funkiness. Yeah. So I will pay extra for you to give me and here's the thing. I'm the type of customer when I'm coming in, you need to make sure that I'm good. Like if I want you to turn the heat off. If I want my spoon, do all of that for me. And when I think about my friends, when they come to me for an order, I provide that exact same thing. Like it's all about you. What is it that you want? And you know, whatever you want, we're gonna try and make it happen. Put it to you like that.
I
I got
love
a
it.
cold. So I'm like rubbing my nose. I got a cold.
Oh, that's okay. Take some ginger, girl.
Wait, don't talk about the ginger. I drank the stuff, but you know what? The kids' germs catch up with you eventually.
Yeah, but the ginger helps with your body. Doesn't mean it eliminates it, but it does help.
It does.
It does help. I don't go a day. I'll run out of milk before I run out of ginger. I will not.
Wait, I'm telling you, when you remember you came here, you was talking to us. We was like, I'm gonna tell you that ginger jacked me up though. And wait,
It was like, wait a minute, my mind just opened. Like, no, for real, my mind just opened.
I'm telling you, was I not tripping out? We took that ginger, but hold up, I got a better one for you. So I'm in here, and remember the ginger you gave me that was in the bottle?
Yeah.
So Riley is sitting there, Riley and EJ, and I was like, this stuff is serious. My kids always want to be involved in something, so Riley wanted to taste it. Dira, if you was here, you could make a whole show about it. She was like, no, I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, right? No, I got, okay, you want to be grown? Here you go. Girl, she drank that stuff. She was like, she screamed. But then here's the thing, at the end of it, you know what she said? She was like, it tastes good, because it's the initial shock of it that you're like, oh my God. But it really isn't that bad after you get past it.
It's not. And it's an acquired taste. Once you get used to taking it, like me, I'll buy, like when I was in Florida last week to go see my mom, like I go and I'll buy the ginger turmeric
Great. Yeah.
The what do you call it? Kombucha drinks.
Yep.
And I like the kombucha because it has the live probiotics and stuff, and it just like wakens your brain. You drink.
I'm telling you, when you gave me that stuff, y'all thought I was playing. I'm telling you, it was like that. You know what? I'm telling you, I was like, I'm gonna eat me some ginger. That mess wakes my brain up.
And actually, studies show that in women over 40, it increases, it awakens your brain cells. So that's what you were feeling. And that's why I'm like, I need all my brain cells waking up. I'm almost 50. I need all my brain cells woken up. I need every last one of them. So I don't go a day without ginger. I've been incorporating it in my drinks. I take it as shots. I'll drink it. Like I'll buy the kombucha drinks, and it's got apple cider vinegar, turmeric, and ginger in it. And it's disgusting when you first take it, but I've gotten so accustomed to it.
That's what it is. Initially, it's overwhelming. But as you like, even like Riley was like, she'd be like, let me take. So I'll let her have like a sip of it. But that ginger, I'm telling you, it wakes up your brain cells. So y'all out there, go get some ginger.
And I went from buying it, the little shots, to making my own, because I was like, oh, this is cheaper because ginger is not really that expensive. Right. So I go, and then the farmer's market by where I live at, they sell them in big clunks. And I love it. And I'll like at the bottom of my refrigerator, I have just ginger little fingers just all in the little box.
She said the thing.
They just you open up my refrigerator, it just look like this at the bottom of my refrigerator. I got ginger everywhere. I was like, and I even got my mom drinking it. My mom was like, this stuff is disgusting. Now my mother
it is
loves. She'd be like, make sure you bring me some ginger. I'm like, this stuff is amazing. I love, because now, especially since I know what it does to my body, I'm like, the older we get, it's like our bodies.
That's really what it's about. These bodies, we're in the same space. You were like, girl, please. When I was young, I didn't get sick. I was the one walking around with no coat on. It just
for real.
Now my body, like, if you blow on me, and I'm like, I'm not trying to get sick. I'm bundling up under the neck. Yeah, I'm all about my vitamins.
I got a whole regiment of herbs and stuff. It's gotten so point to McKinley be like, I got to take my vitamins before I go to school. Like I have them laid out where we got black seed oil. We have what is this liquid?
You got a whole drugstore up in there.
Colloidal silver. We got colloidal silver. We got vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin E, and they be sitting there right there before we leave. And let me leave the house, and I forget to give them their vitamins. They be like, "You forgot to give me my vitamins."
Well, because you can feel it. You feel like, you know what? And when it becomes part of your routine, when you'll have it, you be like, wait, I forgot something. So it's good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
we got a little picture up of Riley.
Yes, she is a true diva right here, right?
Wait, but this one, when I made this shirt for her, When I tell you, you couldn't tell this girl nothing because you know she at that age where she want to show a little bit of skin. But I'm not that type of mother. You know, I always tell her,
Yeah.
no, you nine and you will be nine.
And you're gonna be
You
9.
will be
That's
nine.
it.
So no. So
Absolutely.
this right here, when we cut the sleeves and she got, oh, you couldn't tell her nothing.
Oh
It's
my
because she knows all about the
gosh.
puppets. She likes those
She's
puppets
so
too.
full of pop. I know everybody loved the
Oh,
poppers.
oh my
They are
goodness.
addictive. My girls got like 4 of them. Like they
Oh
love
my
it.
goodness.
Those poppers are dangerous. But I think the thing that shocked me the most is one day you did a video and you showed Riley washing her hair, and I was like, is she washing her hair? That's like McKinley. McKinley be in the bathtub, like, no, I gotta wash my own self. I go wash my own hair. I'm like, you're 5.
You better listen. I'm gonna tell you one thing I learned very early on from EJ. Don't be letting their age dictate what you can do with them. No, when they are ready, let them do it. So she listen. If you all into your hair, because Riley all into her hair, and I'll be like, I got things to do. You know, I do try and like snatch 5 minutes to myself, but you let me teach you how to do this. So she was asking me. She was like, when I would wash
Wow.
her hands would be there, and the mommy in me would be like, move, I'm busy.
Yeah.
But she would ask questions, and I'm like, well, you know what? I do
Yeah.
not let their age dictate what they could do. You feel like you could do it? Okay, let me watch you do it. If you got it, the more you do it, the better you get. So yeah, right, girl, Riley is at the point now where she don't just be washing her hair. She be like she cover all those hairstyles and stuff. That's Riley. It's not me. The only thing I will not let her do, like Riley braid her hair now, girl.
Wow.
That's Riley. Like Riley, yeah, that's Riley. The only thing I want
Wow.
to do is like straighten her hair because she got
Yeah.
this doing that. But those braids and those little ponytails, that's how I've been. Me and Riley been at this hair thing since she was what, like 2, 3?
That's how
Because
that's
it
gonna be
was
McKinley.
important for her to
Yeah.
love her hair.
Yeah.
Because when she was in daycare, let me tell you the hair story now. When she was in daycare, it wasn't a lot of her in there. And what happened was she was coming home with towels on her head, acting like it
Mm.
was hair, moving it and doing like this. And I'm like, Lord, she's emulating hair that she don't have, and it's not going to be like hers. So
Yeah.
when I said earlier that I was intentional about it, I intentionally showed her pictures of African American women with very nice, different hair
Yeah.
all of the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And what happened was she was still wanting her hair. So I was showing her, if you remember Riley, all she had was braids with beads. Because she
Yeah.
wanted the movement in the hair.
Yeah.
Because that is what she was seeing at school. So I
Yeah.
was trying to show her with the way what God gave you, yours is going to
Yes.
be just as good. And
Yeah.
Riley, we started that about 2, 3. What is she done? Around, I saw that confidence you was talking about
Mhm.
around 6 years old because I took her braids out one day and she had the biggest, cutest puff. Like the hair was dirty, girl, but it looked
That's
nice.
when the hair be looking the best, when it's dirty.
Right. Let me tell you, that puff was hot. And I pulled it up because we was going someplace. I pulled it up and it was like this. She literally loved it. And she was like, Mom, this is nice. And I was like, yeah. Ever since then, Riley and her hair, she loves her hair.
That's
Not
it.
just and I would tell her, when your hair gets long, it's gonna be between you and God. Because her hair was always long. And every night in her prayer, she would be like, God, could you please let my hair grow? She would say, me and mommy hair. And I'm like, look, mommy hair gonna do what it do, like, because I'm gonna cut it anyway. But she's always prayed about her hair.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't tell Riley nothing about her. She loves
That's
herself. And
amazing.
EJ, like for that EJ, EJ got nice thick hair. I be telling, like, if you was a girl, them eyebrows you had, I always put positive affirmations in those kids. Always.
And that's how it's supposed to be. That's the preacher always wanted her hair long. And it's funny because we had a conversation one day because I said, I always wanted to put preach hair. I would add hair to her hair to make it look long and make it look. Remember, I used to put the little braids.
Girl, I remember. I got the picture with the bow. I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
she was like, Mommy, and now she's like, Mommy. I'm like, you begged for me to do that when you was little, and now when you get older, you to look at the pictures. She's like, Mom, really, like, you really had me looking like Pippi Longstocking, like, really, like, Mom, really. Like one time, let me tell you, one time I left Gregory with them in the house, and I went to work. I had to be to work really early. and I went to go to work, and it was picture day for Preach. So I told Preach, I said, look, I said, I'm going to do your hair. I had put up a pretty big bow. I used to always love the big bows. I laid out her dress and everything. So it didn't dawn on me till like months later, you get the pictures and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, her pictures came out nice. I'm like, why is her barrette mismatched from her dress? I would never like mismatch her barrettes. I was like a stickler with the hair bows and I'm like, dang. So it wasn't, she was 5 at this time. It wasn't to Preach was about 9. She was scared to tell me. She told me, she said, Mom, you know that. I said, I'm still trying to figure out with this picture how you have a different bow. That's just not like me. She said, Mom, I have a confession to make. I actually switched dresses. I'm like, I knew it was something. She said, because you put on that bib dress and I was not wearing that bib dress.
Bib dress?
You know, the have the little thing. She's like, I refused to wear that bib dress. I said, Preach, I don't think you like me. I don't think you liked me since birth. And she's like,
no, that's that girl thing. I'm telling you, that's that
when
girl
you was
thing.
4 months old, I was combing your hair and you was I tried to breastfeed you. You was like, She was always independent. Always independent.
Riley got about me and her. I let her do her thing because me and her would go back and forth about what she was gonna wear. And I'm like, before I sit here and go back and forth, however you want to look, that's gonna be between you and it. As long as nothing ain't sticking out, I let her do. I learned how to pick my battles with my kids.
Yeah.
If you want to get your clothes, that's fine. Get your clothes. That means I got 5 more minutes for myself. That's it.
Yeah.
And I've Riley been doing her all, every so often she'll try and like revert back and be like, Mommy, can you help me? But Mommy already in the mode of
I got used to doing this. We don't go back.
That's a boss, and I'll be like,
go back.
I don't, girl, go. You good? You know how to do it.
I'm trying to wait for Bella to get to that point because Bella's hair is all the way down. Bella's hair, woo! When I wash her hair, it takes me 4 hours just to wash their hair because by the time Bella's hair is so long that when I get done, I'll be like, oh my God, I had to start blow drying it just to manage it because it would take me hours. My hand. That's why now I used to braid hair and do all. I can't even do that anymore because my hands, because I will be combing her hair and I'll be like,
but you got 2 of them to do. Like I was telling Riley, like you lucky because if I had 2 girls that young,
that's why I be
every other week
all the time.
It'll be every other week. 1 week your hair would be done. That's a lot.
Sunday is dedicated just to their hair. I have to do it early, get it out the way, because that's the only way that I'll be like, and I can't.
But you can't braid no 2 hairs in one day. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I don't even try. I put their hair in a ponytail, and I tell you, whatever style I put it in lasts for a whole week. I brush that gel up just to give it an extra day, because in the morning they are not morning people. So I'm like, look, I got them tight scarf. I'm big on them head scarves, girl. I put the head scarf on tight, so your brain about to squeeze.
So you gonna have an imprint right here, but you'll be all right.
Anything, I'm like, Lord, you gave me 2 girls with extremely long hair. And I'm like, and Preach was like, you know what? That's not fair. How you get McKinley and Bella to have extremely long hair? And I'm over here praying for long hair when I was little. I'm like, girl, I couldn't wait to get a perm in your hair. Their hair, I'd be like, Lord Jesus, I'm about to take them to the little kid shops and let them do their hair, because by the time I get done, McKinley is just like, if you touch it, Bella is just too long. I'd be like, I don't even want to do I'd be seeing these little cute hairstyles. I'd be like, nope, you got too much hair.
At a point in time with Riley's hair, which I did, like I never let her go other places because I didn't want anyone to make her look older, and she wanted different hairstyles, but I never wanted her to feel like, again, I never let the age dictate. I look at the appropriateness of the child, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, me and Riley been doing this fashion thing since she was like 2. So she can wear certain hairstyles to be okay, but it always has to be age appropriate.
Right.
So I never let her go to places. Again, just like I wanted to craft, I would just literally like look at a million videos of how to do it. And then it was always between me and her. That's why me and her so cool, because when she thinks about, I want to look pretty, she doesn't think about going to a place. She think about me. She like, Mommy, I need this. Mommy, I want that. If it comes to makeup, she comes to me. It comes
to Preach all day long.
But here's the thing. It was always, her hair gotten long. And it was taking a long time to do her hair. Like blow drying her hair was like, this is real thick and dense. So I started, I guess, like recently started letting her go get her hair done. That's a whole other thing, opened up a whole other can of worms.
I'm really nervous about people doing their hair. You don't know what kind of spirit they got. You don't know. And sometimes people just braid. Sometimes people are just harsh, and it's just so much stuff wrapped around that. So I just be like,
here's the thing: no one's gonna keep the health. And I always tell Riley, long hair that ain't healthy ain't nothing. Your hair is extremely healthy, and my fear was her going someplace and someone make her hair unhealthy. So we took her to like a couple of places, and I could see the difference in her hair. So I had to like pull back because all those different heads in her hair, like let her have her hair and let it be as healthy as it needs to be.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I tell you, this has been amazing. Make sure you guys
never real talking.
that is what I meant when I told you. I said my show is basically a dialogue.
Yes.
I tried to get away from the dynamics of, a question A, B, C, or D. I save those for because I feel like I'm better and people are more comfortable, when you're able to dialogue. And because when people watch, they want to see when you're talking about a check-in, you're talking about how that person lives. It's not, I'm like I'm like the mini Oprah. Like I'm just sitting over there and I'm like, so how does that make you feel?
Listen,
how does that make you feel? And it makes it easy. And before you know it, the show goes by so quick and you look and you be like, dang, an hour. We've been going for an hour already. And it doesn't even seem like it. I've had shows that I've had to break up into like, to two, three shows because they went that long. So, but I just want to take the time to tell each and every one of you, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you visit Lynn at her website, Sweet Angel Creations at www.sweetangelcreations.com and let's support each other as women. Let's support our businesses because let me tell you, we can do a lot of things when we pull together and support each other. We can make sure everybody's families can be fed and we can make an impact right in our own community.
That's right.
And so that's what I want us to do. Make sure you visit her at sweetangelscreations.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast. IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives needed to service their customers from home. If you're interested, please apply at www.ibgcareers.com.
Let's work.
I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I